Welcome from Munich with the Apple iPhone 6 Plus and the LG G4 on the right side, and also on the complete right we have the Apple 6 iPhone, which is of course the second biggest iPhone now that's available on the market, widely successful, but even more successful is the 6 Plus because in Asia everybody is buying it. So what we want to do here now is compare the LG G4 with a 5.5-inch screen, exactly the same size as the G3, with the iPhone 6 Plus, mainly because it has also the 5.5-inch screen. Both amazing cameras and everything. The 6 is also quite interesting, but only because it's a little bit slimmer and smaller. So if you want to choose the iPhone 6, just here a comparison in terms of size. Let me zoom out a little bit, and then you can see that the 4.7 inch versus the 5.5 inch is almost exactly the same height. Not much difference there, a little bit. And also when we put them on top of each other, you can see that the G4 is of course here a little bit wider, and here again a little bit higher, but not much. What's again interesting is that the screen of the G4 is a little bit bent. It's a little bit better visible when I put the regular G Flex on top, but otherwise, of course, in terms of thickness, LG loses because we have a 3000 milliamp battery versus just 2000 here on the iPhone 6. So it's with 6.9 millimeters thinner than the 9.8 millimeters here, the thickest, placed in the middle of the LG G4. But again, this is not the main competitor. I think it's the iPhone 6 Plus, which has a fingerprint reader, which LG still doesn't have. But what LG has is a lot of better camera technology probably built in, because we have here only 8 megapixel camera and here 16. Megapixels are not everything. We have here an infrared and RGB temperature color sensor. Just a single LED. Here we have dual LED, and also here a laser sensor for focus. Volume rocker, on and off switch. Those are of course here on the side on the iPhone, and also the SIM card slot is here on the side on the iPhone. The SIM card slot is here inside the LG G4, but what's really interesting about the G4 is again you have a micro SD card slot, removable back cover, and removable battery, where you can easily expand your 32 gigs of internal memory with a 128 gig card for about $80, and don't have to pay 200 more like here. So you just get 128 and not even the 32 plus 128 like you get on the LG G4. So the size comparison, you can see it here. The iPhone 6 Plus is a lot taller, but of course still slimmer. Here with 7.1 millimeter again versus 9.8. You can see the difference right there. Also the LG G4 has here an infrared sensor built in, so you can use it to change your TV channels and all kinds of other awesome things if you want to do that. But again, no fingerprint reader, and yeah, 8 megapixel versus 16 on the back, and on the front 8 megapixel here on the LG G4 versus 1.2 megapixel camera on the iPhone. But again, enough talking about the cameras. Let's just show you guys the cameras. Let me turn both around, and then we can, for example, see here that both look quite amazing. Actually quite similar in quality. Let me get them a little bit closer here to my camera. Similar in quality on the right. The colors look a little bit different. The focus seems to be a bit better, sharper and everything. But you can easily just touch it where you want to focus, and then change the focus right there. What's quite interesting about the LG G4 is that you have here your manual mode, where you can change everything the way you want, and also make the picture as horrible as you want, and just easily change the ISO and everything, so everything looks a little bit better or worse, depending on how you would like it to look like. Here, for example, now you see, now I think the picture on the right is a little bit better than on the left. But again, let's try the front camera. Selfie camera, you could say. So 8 megapixels on the right, left 1.2. Now the right looks a lot sharper. Speed seems also to be the same, but the wide angle is also better on the right, on the LG G4. But both are really good cameras, you could say. On the left you can just not shoot in as high resolution. On the right The colors are not again the best, but I think there's also manual mode maybe here. No, there's no manual mode here, just for the back camera, so you are stuck with the picture you see on the right. So this was already it for my comparison. Thank you much for tuning in. This was the LG G4 versus the Apple iPhone 6 Plus. Yeah, hard competitors, not easy to decide. I would go with the right one because it's cheaper, $600 versus starting at 800 here on the left, with just 16 GB, and here we have 32. Also processor-wise, dual core, 6-core processor, and so on and so on. There's a lot of differences like RAM, 1 gig and 3 gig. Usually Android wins when it comes to performance, but they both seem to be really amazingly quick, so that's usually not an issue of specs on the paper, but specs that you will feel in your everyday usage, and I think both should be the same in that way. So thank you much for tuning in. This was the G4 versus the 6 Plus here in a short comparison video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you much for watching.